And we're live.
Good afternoon, David Markovich, David Marks. You're on your hilltop home in Sherman, Connecticut.
That's correct.
And I understand there's a bit of a thunderstorm.
I was born.
Tell us where
I was born in Hungary. In Hungary, in Szilágyhamar. My name is David Marks.
What type of a family did you come from?
A conservative Jewish religious family. We were 12 children, and I was number 9.
Wow. And what happened to you in the war, in the Holocaust? What happened to you?
My sad day started when the Hungarian joined the Nazi Axis and they ruled over Hungary. It became a fascist government, and we Jews got together and they put us in a ghetto, and 3 weeks later in a freight car took us to Auschwitz, the gate of hell. And I was in that train with 75, 80 people and 35 close relatives.
How many of them survived? How many of your family survived?
We survived 8.
8 survived.
How many of your family survived?
Nobody. Only the eight brothers and sisters survived. And after the war, we all met in Israel, which was that time Palestine. After we came to Birkenau on a Friday afternoon, I was selected to go to work, and my 4 sisters were selected to go to. The rest of the extended family were taken to the crematorium that same Friday. That Friday afternoon, a couple hours after I arrived to Birkenau, I became a Yusam, which is how you call a Yusam?
An orphan. An
orphan.
orphan.
And they took me to labor camp, and from the hell of gate went through, and I was working in Germany. We were building an airplane factory.
Where were you liberated, David? Where were you liberated?
I was liberated in the name Allah. It was 6 miles from Munich, close to Dachau. We were in a camp, 40,000 people, and then the wish of the Nazis were to surround the camp with dynamite and with machine guns and to kill 40,000 people, so there shouldn't be any trace what happened there. But thank God it did not happen, because the 5th American Army was very close and they liberated us.
And eventually you got to Israel, is that correct?
Eventually, after I was liberated, I tried to go with Aliyah Bet, which was illegal immigrant to Palestine, and they caught us 80 miles from the port, and our ship almost sank with 1,400 plating refugees from the concentration camp, and they took us and locked us up in Cyprus at the socialist government, and the prime minister was the name Ernest Bevin, Yemach Shemon v'Zichro, and they locked me up for 2 years in Cyprus. after that, I came to Israel, to Palestine, and there was an independent country.
And when did you get to America?
I joined the Navy as soon as I got to Israel. I was a military police of the Navy, and I was a Shomer Rosh from the dignitaries from Ben Gurion, the American embassy, taking care of them, taking care of sailors that were not dressed properly to represent the Israeli Navy, which was not even a year old, just a couple of months old. And then I got liberated from the army. I was finishing the service and I wanted to work with wood. I always liked the wood trade. The wood was a mystery to me, what you can make from wood, which is a wonderful material. And then I had a brother here in the United States, and my sister-in-law told me I should come after I went through all that hell, come for a visit and meet my brother. I got a visa, I came to the United States.
Now, I'm going to go back a little bit, David. I know you have a number on your arm from Auschwitz, but am I correct in saying that for 60 years you didn't really share your story with anybody? You didn't talk to your children or your grandchildren. You didn't talk about the Holocaust, did you?
I was hiding my number from my children. My wife, which I married as soon as I came here, I met her, and by the second date, I married her, proposed for her, and that same couple of months we got married. She is the only one who saw my tattoo. And I did not want my children should feel sorry for their father who went through that Gehenna. So they got older, they went to a Hebrew school, private school, and they find out that I was a Holocaust survivor. So that's how it happened. But I never talked to them till my age 60, 60, 70 years old. Wow.
And now you and I, even though we're good friends now, we only met 3 months ago. When you went back to Poland, you went back to Auschwitz for the first time, and JRoots were responsible for the delegation of survivors. We were invited by the Auschwitz-Birkenau Memorial Foundation, and that was the first time that you went back for the 75th anniversary, the commemoration of the liberation. Why did you decide, age 91, to go back to Auschwitz with your children and grandchildren? Why did you decide to do that?
I wanted to go back to see where my life started, really, because I was reborn there. I was reborn after the liberation. And I got a beautiful invitation from Mr. Lauder to come, and I decided with my future wife, she said that if you want to go, I will support you. And I really, really appreciated her volunteering. And she told me that she was there once. She was there a couple of years ago, alone at a tour. And then I decided to my pleasant surprise, which was extraordinary, that the J tour gave us a real impact. How to visit that big cemetery. And I will, as long as I live, I will be grateful for the J tour, what they did and how they treated us. It was not a funeral, it was a wedding. They really played, they took us everywhere, and they showed us, and the care that we got from them, by the dining room, by the banquet, by the speeches, it gave me really healing, so much healing. I never can forget that.
So for 60 years, you didn't really speak about the Holocaust. And for 75 years, you never went back. And you went back for this commemoration of 75 years. Can you share with us a little bit more what it was like to go back? Why was it so meaningful? I can hear you're very emotional about it. What did it mean to you to go back and to be there with other survivors and to be there with your future generations? Share with us, why was that so meaningful for you?
It was very, very important for me, for my soul, to really bury that forever from my brain, from my heart. And once I was there, I realized how important it is for me to come back from there. And it's like, I felt it's like my obligation to spread the word and to talk to children, to grown-ups, mostly to high school children, what happened. And since then, I am booked and I gave lectures and speeches for children, for grown-ups. Just 2-3 weeks ago, when we came back, we had 250 people. They told me I should talk for 15 minutes, and then I should let people ask questions. I was talking for 1 hour, and Kathy, my dear friend, my bride, told me, David, stop it, because I wanted to go to tell her the trip from Cyprus to Italy. She said, that's for another speech, for another story. And that, to me, since then, I feel that I really, really owe it to my relatives, to my faith, to my nation, because I have Ohev Israel and Am Yisrael Chai, and I should tell that it should never happen again. And it's different. People told me, when you talk, we feel that you are one of its kind, how in detail you can describe my past and how much they appreciate it. So it's not easy, believe me. And after I talk for a half hour, an hour, I'm exhausted mentally and physically, and it's very difficult. But I have to do it. I know I'm going to do it. And the last time I did it in our shul, 3-4 high school principals came and will you talk to me? Unfortunately, we have this disease. Everything was canceled.
Well, I want to say on behalf of JRoots and especially on this day, Yom Hashoah, this global day of testimony, we know how hard it is for you, and we appreciate it so much. And please God, you'll go on for many years sharing your story. Let me ask you, when you speak to young people now, what is your main message that you want to give over to them?
Really, first of all, by JRoots, when we came home, we gave my story. How did you find out Poland in Birkenau? So right away, we had the idea to take 4 more grandchildren, and we have a JCC here, and we have the temple, a small temple with 300 members. And the rabbi said, David, we're going to organize a trip, and you're going to get in touch with JRoots because you heard how much good it was, how much service and how much knowledge they have, how to handle a group like that. And we're going to go next spring. Of course, we didn't cancel it yet, but we cannot really seriously plan it. So what's the question that you asked me?
What's the most important message that you want to give to young people?
The important message is to me that they should be all Congress people, senators, lawyers, and they should watch that a dictator should never come up in our history. Never, never It could be socialist communism, but not a dictator. A dictator takes away the freedom from people, and I tell them, take away the food, but don't take away the freedom, because that's the most important thing that human being can have. A free man, you can let go, he will never starve from hunger. But a dictator would starve you. And that's the main purpose of my speeches to the young children. Because if there wouldn't be a dictator in Hungary, I would be here. My family in Israel would be 1,000 people. They went on the computer because we all wanted to make Aliyah. The whole family. My father wanted to take the whole family because we're in the trucking business. And we were going to go through Turkey and Syria. And with my nephews in Israel, they're all engineers. And I told them, tell me at that time, 35 people till today, under normal condition, how many we would be? He says 1,000 Markoviches, Marks. That's how much it would be. But unfortunately, there was a dictator, and he said, "Loy mit an alef."
Reb David, I want you to know from the bottom
Not Reb Dovid, just David.
that I know it's not the same, but I promise you that all of the people that you talk to become your family. They become your children. You have 1,000 children. We are your children.
10 years old.
Amen, amen. Now you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You alluded to two other very special things that I would like to share with all of our viewers today. You referred to your love of wood, and you also referred to another love, and we'll get to it in a minute. How did you fall in love with wood? Wood.
Wood. When I was 6 years old, 8 years old, my boot pockets were full always with screws, with nails, and I was always fixing. We had a big house. We had warehouses because we were in the trucking business, transferring merchandise. And whenever I saw a piece of wood fall off from a crate, I took it and I was planing it with my knife. I didn't have a planer yet. And I don't remember it exactly because I was 6 years old, but my sisters told me, you were always working with wood. And when I was discharged from the army, my lieutenant called me in and he said, David, Beradam Mukhshar, we want to send you to an officer school. I said, okay, I want to contribute, but you can guarantee me a shop, a woodworking shop. He says, what are you talking about? I said, without wood, I cannot be a happy man. So that's the story of the wood. And I came to it.
Where were you apprenticed? You had a sort of an apprenticeship, didn't you, during the war?
During the war?
Somebody took you in and you were working with wood during the war, weren't you? In the ghetto.
Oh, I had a bench. I have pictures that I had already. I saw I was making sandals because they didn't give shoes because of the wartime. Making clocks before I was able to learn really.
Right. And David, can you tell us where are you sitting? Where are you sitting now? Where are you sitting?
I'm sitting in the shop, the place that I meditate, I work, I rest, and I work every day, 5-6 hours. And I make all different kinds of things, but always from wood. And I have all the tools. And I'm going to be 92 years old. And if I see a new tool is coming out, I'm sure gonna buy it because I believe in the future. I believe in love. I believe in living every day to the fullest.
When we first met on Friday night in Krakow, you introduced me to your bride. So what's happening in July? July, apart from turning 92, what else is happening in your life?
Oh my God, I fell in love with her, and we're planning to make a big wedding, and it was supposed to be the wedding on her birthday, 70th birthday, a simcha that we should get all our friends together from all over, the children. And unfortunately, we postponed it. We had to postpone. She's right here with me. She is my best friend, my best everything. I couldn't exist without her.
So,
The
so
best
David,
thing that happened to me, my fourth quarter of life.
your fourth quarter of life, you're in your wood workshop, and building and creating every day, and you're getting married, please God, in as soon as possible. What are you making in the workshop at the moment? What have you been making?
Well, we wanted to have on the table in the big thing, we wanted to have 6 or 7 candlesticks on each table. And we added up, I need 93 candlesticks. And you just caught me because I have them right here. Would you like to see them? Some of them.
Sure. Let's see.
That's it. This is a California walnut.
And you made this.
This one is firewood.
Cypress,
Firewood.
cedar.
And you made all of these.
Yeah, 92 pieces I made. This is cherry wood. It takes me about 20 minutes to make one. And the candle goes in.
Don't tell
here,
anyone. Don't tell anyone. Don't tell
What?
anyone it only takes 20 minutes.
Why shouldn't they know? They should start to learn. Let them come and I will teach them. I will demonstrate them. The lake is right there. And it's all pleasure to work on it. You don't have to go on long walks and taking chances and to climb walls and to just, it fulfills your talent because you can create something with your own hand. It's like Bezalel. You learn about Bezalel. He was a handyman, and with all the tools. And if you see my background, can you see it?
Sure.
Can you see my background?
Sure. You know, David.
This is a little jewelry box I made for a friend of ours. It's not finished yet. So when I make something like this, I give it as a gift, and I enjoy it twice. Once I make it, once I give it. And wherever I go, sometimes in homes, they always see my work. Always. My work greets me better than the owner.
Beautiful. David, let me ask you one more question. David.
Go ahead.
David, there are many people across the world watching this now. Yom Hashoah. We're watching a man in his 92nd year who is planning for his fourth quarter, and he's making candlesticks, and he's talking about the future. And you've got a number on your arm from Auschwitz. What encouragement, what lesson for life can you share with young people who didn't go through what you went through, but you believe in the future? You're planning for the future. How do we do that? Teach us.
It's very, very simple. When you get up in the morning and you hear the birds singing and you are healthy, not even fully healthy, you have to enjoy life, the beautiful nature. It should give you an inspiration, and you should not be selfish. You should share the good time with somebody. It gives you a fantastic purpose in life, what you give, and never get despair. You know, we learned in the Chumash, Yiush, it's very, very bad. And if you retire, you're going to retire. Prepare retirement. When you are 60, 50, 60, prepare to do something. If you don't use it, you lose it. And step by step, you're going to get rewards. Volunteer, help somebody. Uzoif Tazoif. You remember Uzoif Tazoif? That is in me, in my head, since I'm a child. And Yush is rather eat chazer than to fall in Yush, because that is the worst thing. And if you are involved and you see and you can make somebody a little bit happier than he is in his lot, it's going to make you happy. And then you're going to look to the future. Then you're going to look for the sunshine. And you're going to wait to see the sunrise. It's one of the biggest miracles. And how it moves from left to right constantly. And you see the sunset. And you see the next day, get up early in the morning, and you see how the birds are whistling. And you have it. That is already, you are a full person. And believe in the future. You cannot correct the past, the one which was, but the future is in your hand. In your hand.
Wow. Wow. So, David, what are the plans for the next 10 years?
Oh, we have a contract for 35 years with Kathy. 35 years. In Yetz Hashem, I will call you every 10 years. And I will tell you, it's our birthday. I mean, I believe in her. She takes very good care of me. She watches me like a hawk. And I feel wonderful. And the children ask me, how do you feel? I said, don't ask me how do I feel. Are you in the shop? If you are in the shop, I know that you feel good. That's the Shema. Honestly.
David, you are amazing. Really, you are a teacher of humanity. It's incredible, really, really incredible. And on behalf of all of us at JRoots, we wish you and Kathy Mazal Tov, Ad 120 years. And Mazal Tov, really, thank you so much for sharing this with us. And I'm coming for lessons. You know, I'll tell you on a personal level, David, on a personal level. Hi, Kathy. I'll tell you, when I was in my bar mitzvah, we were two boys at home. And my parents said, what do you want for a bar mitzvah present? So my brother chose a set of Talmud, and I chose a Black & Decker workmate. I became a rabbi, and he became a lawyer. So I'm coming for lessons. Toda rabba.
Anytime.
Toda. Am Yisrael Chai. Thank you, David. Thank you, Kathy.
I make room for you. I buy wood right away as soon as I hear that you're coming. Give you a lesson.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.